The decreasing birth rate in Japan has led to more work for grandparents, but new ideas abound. To fight the labor shortage, senior citizens can now raise their grandchildren and train them as their replacements. Will it be enough? And can it help you learn English in just 15 minutes? Find out right now on English News Worth Talking About. Hey, it's Dennis Wilborn, the former sailor turned English entrepreneur and coach. This is English News Worth Talking About on All About English. And if you're dying to know what it's all about, then you're in the right place. On this show, I break down some of my clients' favorite news articles to help you reach your English learning goals faster. Join me Monday through Friday for a fresh look at the news in English and why it's worth talking about. And remember to stick around to the end if you want to find out what you need to stop saying all the time. Just stop saying it. You just really stop saying it. All right. Today is Friday, October 28th, and I am finally wrapping up this 3-day series about Japan. We are headed back to engu.com for this topic. Look, Engu does a great job presenting articles for English learners, along with other study materials. And no, I don't get anything for saying that. I just like it because it's free. It's my favorite 4-letter F word. So before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe this button. No, this be sure to like. That's, oh, forget about it. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe and smash the like button. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I don't always, I don't have that many Japanese clients, but Japanese news is always popular. So today we are going to talk about Japanese grandparents getting a little extra baby time. So let's see what that's all about. Okay. So the Miyagi prefecture. Miyagi is to introduce childcare leave for grandparents. What in the world do grandparents need childcare leave for? Let's find out. What is leave? First of all, we're going to hit the vocabulary. Leave is not just the verb, which means to go outside of a building or leave, to go away from a place. Leave is also a noun. It refers to a period of time when a person is allowed to be away from work. She'll be out of the office on maternity leave until the end of October. Well, it's almost the end of October, so she needs to get back to work ASAP. No, they have a lot of maternity leave is when a mother takes time off to take care of her childbirth and her newborn baby. These days, you hear a lot about paternity leave, which is for fathers, and we're going to find out, I guess, if grandparents can get some of that action as well. Extend means to make something larger, cover a wider area, or last longer. We are so impressed with your performance that we would like to extend your contract for another 6 months. Wow, we're so impressed. Wouldn't you like to hear that from your boss? We love the way you work. We're going to make you work some more. Retire. Speaking of the opposite of work, retire means to leave one's job and stop working, especially because one has reached a certain age. So when a person reaches a certain age, they usually retire. They leave their job. They stop working. This is kind of a 20th century type of thing. Before, only rich people stopped working. Everyone used to work until they died back in the day. Nowadays, we have something called retirement. What do you plan to do with your retirement? This guy plans to write a book after they retire. Next one, diaper. Diaper, an absorbent cloth put between a baby's legs and around its waist. They don't tell you what it's for. It's absorbent, so it's there to absorb things like poo and pee, all the great stuff that comes from a baby's bottom half. Lovely. Diapers, I know a lot about them because I changed them all the time. I never had changed a diaper until my son was born. I changed a few diapers before my kids were born, but not that many. I change them all the time now because I've got 3 kids. And it keeps me busy. The next up, regret. To feel sad about something that one has done or failed to do. So the interesting thing about regret, it is a feeling of sadness about something that you have done, and also it could be about something you haven't done. Isn't that weird? You feel sad about doing something or not doing something. I guess we've all experienced a little bit of regret. As a matter of fact, they say that most people have regrets when they get close to dying, and the biggest regret is never, I wish I had worked more. Mostly it's, I wish I'd spent more time with family and friends. And when you make a mistake like that, when you have regrets, often you have something to make up for, which is to correct or counteract something to make up for. Usually, if you make a mistake, if you do something that you regret, if you, um, yeah, just foul things up in your life, you want to make up for it. You can always find the guys who've made mistakes because they're right next to the guys on their first date buying flowers at the florist. They're there buying flowers. The guys on the first date are buying flowers because it's a first date. The other guys are there because they need to make up for a mistake they made. All right, that's not entirely true. I'm sure that there are some romantic guys out there. All right, let's get into this article before we take too much more time. Miyagi to introduce childcare leave for grandparents. I'm just going to give you the gist of it. Okay. Miyagi is a prefecture in Japan, and they're going to introduce a system to allow local government workers to take leave when their grandchildren are born. That's it. There's nothing special about that. The only difference is it's for grandparents. The mayor, or excuse me, the governor of the prefecture announced that he was going to start letting people uh, take advantage of this new extended plan in January of 2023. Now, currently, male government workers are allowed to take a special leave, that's paternity leave, when a new child is born so they can help with childcare. Uh, I guess it's assumed that the female workers, because they gave birth, are going to be the ones taking the regular leave. And now they're extending it to grandparents. Isn't that nice? So now grandparents can help to take care of the kids, their grandkids. Now, why on earth would grandparents need to take care of their grandkids? Why do they need special leave to take care of their grandkids? That's the big question. Well, according to the governor here, it's because the parents, he said that the increase in homes where both parents are working has created a need for grandparents to help with childcare. Well, my question again, why is it that grandparents have to take leave? Why aren't they retired already? Well, apparently it's because they are in the process of extending the retirement age to 65 for the prefectural government workers. So if you work for the government in that prefecture anyway, you're going to be retiring 5 years after than you expected. Huh. Again, why so late? Average age for people getting their first grandchild is 62 to 63. So yeah, if they bump that up, they're going to need to take a special leave to take care of their newborn grandchildren. They're not even going to get a chance to enjoy that time. They still have to go back to work. Oh well. But that's okay. Apparently, some private businesses are already doing things like the parental, or I guess it would be grandparental leave, to help take care of grandbabies. That's to do things like shopping, giving baths, going, changing diapers, all the stuff that parents normally do. So, why is it that all of these grandparents have to go back to work? It doesn't seem really fair, or go back to work. I'm saying go back to work taking care of grandkids. They can't just spend their silver years in full on retirement. Well, Japan has got a little problem with their birth rate. Um, and that's kind of the theme that has been permeating the last few uh, articles, the last 3 days. This is the third day that we've talked about in Japan. They have a birth rate problem, meaning they're not having enough babies. They've been having this problem for quite a long time, several decades, actually. Uh, and the problem is starting to rear its ugly head. What happens when you don't have enough babies? Well, the first thing that happens is you get less workers entering the market, when they start entering the market, entering the job force, entering the labor force. Fewer people going to work means that there's fewer people to fill the required jobs to keep the economy going. So that's why 2 days ago we talked about the fact that almost half of the businesses in Japan wanted or were willing or interested in hiring foreign workers. Why are they hiring foreign workers? Because they don't have enough local workers. Well, that leads to another problem, which we talked about yesterday. More foreign workers means more new cultures entering a very homogenous culture of Japan, which creates cultural tension and ends up with your police being accused of being racist. And finally, we end up here with having to extend the retirement age for all of your wonderful parents and grandparents. So now they have to work until they're 65. But at least they'll get an extra break, an extra leave so that they can take care of their grandkids. I know it's just it's so sad. I laugh because if I didn't laugh, I would want to cry. I'm not I'm not lying. All right, so what did we learn today? Well, what did we learn? We learned that Miyagi Prefecture in Japan has decided to start allowing child leave for grandparents. Well, isn't that nice of them? We learned that one of the greatest effects of the labor shortage that we are seeing is the effects it's having on seniors. It is noticeable in Japan because the disparities are great, but it's going to be a problem that we start to see all around the world. Senior citizens aren't just having to deal with the problem of who's going to take care of the grandkids. Senior citizens also have to deal with healthcare. A lot of when you get to that age, you have a lot more health problems to deal with. And if there are fewer and fewer young people, that means that there are fewer and fewer doctors, nurses, and healthcare professionals to help them take care of those issues. So this problem is beginning to get worse in Japan, but it isn't a problem that it's only affecting Japan. Korea, Taiwan, China, and many other places around the world are experiencing low birth rates because of different policies. There's a numerous reasons for low birth rates. Why don't you give me your opinions about where the low birth rates come from down in the comments? And finally, look, I have spent the last 3 days talking about issues in Japan. Now, on the surface, they may seem like they're unrelated, but they all point back to one big glaring problem, and that is the labor shortage. Aha, no, but it's not. It's not a labor shortage, it's a baby shortage. The declining birth rate in Asia and around the world will see the demand for foreign workers increase, adding cultural adding these foreign cultures to a homogenous society. We'll see cultural clashes and increased tensions, which means racist police, or at least the accusations of racist police. And finally, the lack of a new generations entering the workforce means that retirement will become more difficult as seniors have to work into their senior years. Wow. My point here is that I need to remind you, when you are looking and reading the news, you should be sure to keep your eyes on the big picture. Don't just focus on the little stuff, the little articles. What is the little article about? You need to look and focus on the big picture. Don't miss the forest for the trees. Okay? All right. Thanks for listening to me share my opinions. If you were challenged by my views or feel the need to disagree, please start a civil discussion in the comments down below, because civil discourse is the only way to solve our problems as a society. If you liked my video, let me know what you like the best, and remember to smash the like button and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And we're going to move on to my new part. What is this? Stop saying that. This is my new I'm trying something new today. We're going to call it stop saying that.
Stop it. Get some help.
Thanks, Michael. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. I'm always hearing people say expressions that are wrong. All right. Maybe they're just used incorrectly. They're not always bad to say, but if you want to sound more native, then you want to stop saying expressions like these. Today, I want you to stop saying, take a rest. Stop saying it. Just stop. All right. Get some help. I'm here to help. Right. All right. Take a rest is, I really don't know where this expression came from. I started hearing it when I first came to Korea. I heard a lot of people say it. I still hear a lot of people say it. I hear people from Japan say it, and people from China say it, and Taiwan as well. Everybody says, take a rest. But that's not an expression that you hear very often. So instead of saying take a rest, let's say take a break. Take a break is something that we often say in America and and in Europe and in other English speaking countries. You take a break from work. Okay, I've worked all day. I need to take a break. A break means you stop doing something for a period of time. Okay, so this is your timeline. You break it so that you can get some rest. Okay, we don't take a rest. We get some rest. All right. So you can also say get some rest. Like I said, rest is not something that we usually take. Okay, it's something we either have or we don't have. If you don't have enough rest, you need to get some. You might even say, oh man, I slept horribly last night. I need to get more rest. If you've been working hard all day, though, you only need to take a break. So it has been a very long week for me. It's always a long week. What do I say? It's been a long week, and I can honestly say that I need to get some rest. And I'm going to take a break on Saturday and relax over a cup of coffee. And you can help me get some rest by clicking the link to buy me a coffee. It helps me keep going and shows me that you support this show and my work. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all the time we have for today. Don't forget to like and share this show with your friends. And thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you again next time. Oh, next week. Thank you for watching. And don't forget your homework. Share this program with just one of your friends. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you stay up to date. If you want to join the conversation yourself in a one-on-one or group class, check out my page on Amazing Talker, and your news may end up here too. As always, remember, learning is meant to be an adventure. That's what life is all about.